This video is best viewed on a stereoscopic 3D monitor or with YouTube's cardboard viewing option. For more 3D options, use the flash player by clicking the first link in the description. For the unwarped VR version of this video suited for viewing on a 2D screen or in a VR headset, click the second link in the description. Ooh, pretty view! Welcome to Stereo 3D Productions, everyone. Damn, am I happy to be wearing this headset and running this simulator. That's right, iRacing Season 4 2016 has been released and they have implemented experimental, quote-unquote, HTC VIVE support. Now, if you've followed this channel over the summer, you notice that in June, I sort of went through a sequence of driving simulation videos, trying them out with the Oculus Rift, and the only simulation that I actually got to use in both the HTC VIVE and the Oculus Rift was Project Cars. Initially, I tried in the Oculus Rift, it impressed the hell out of me, and then I was a bit disappointed when I tried the HTC VIVE, which I have said is my preferred headset, and I expressed the desire for asynchronous time warp because the thing wasn't running well, and I also expressed the desire for a better anti-aliasing technique because it wasn't good enough in Project Cars with the Vive. The distant detail was hard to see because there was a lot of shimmer and you would often end up questioning yourself. Now, I did express that I thought this wasn't obviously the headset, but rather the way the simulator was running its anti-aliasing and also its frame rate. I later tried iRacing with the Oculus Rift, with the new Oculus Rift, because it got support implemented, and I was, once more, very impressed, as I've been with most Oculus Rift driving experiences. And I said, because I've known iRacing for quite some time now, and I know that it performs really well. It definitely outperforms Project Cars on most systems you'll run it on. So I did say that iRacing would be one of those simulators that could be a rescue to the HTC VIVE because it performs so well and does not need to lean on a synchronous time warp all the time. Also, it's able to do its own anti-aliasing and super sampling, which is pretty good for virtual reality. So it is here, and we can finally do this comparison and see if my hypothesis was correct. Is this going to share the same problems as Project Cars did with the HTC VIVE, or is this going to be much closer, or maybe even equal, to its Oculus counterpart? Well, let's go find out. Now, first thing I'm going to do is open the graphics settings, because I want to show you this. I actually started with the lowest baseline I could, and I worked my way up from there. You can see a few leftovers of that here and there. There are some boxes I didn't check. There are a few items that I left on low detail. I do not care much for these. I did make a few discoveries, though, that this was on the limit option, so I put frame rate to no limit. I don't see why it would need to be limited. I played with AA samples. It does not seem to make a difference. However, I am very, very satisfied with the level of anti-aliasing I see in this. I mean, I've done tests, and even just from the title screen, I can tell you that the anti-aliasing in iRacing is most definitely superior to what I saw in Project Cars. So if I take my mouse down here, I'll show you an option that really matters. Shadow volumes. Look, in my case, I have a GTX 970. If I turn this on while I'm recording, I will lose a few frames here and there, and I'll feel it. If I am not recording, it'll probably go smooth, but it's possible that shadow volumes will tax your performance a good deal in all situations. Shadow volume seems to be the most impacting option in all these. I mean, I could play with all these other ones for one more hour and just find out that I can almost turn everything on without a problem, except shadow volumes. Well, hello iRacing and your beautiful afternoon lighting. Well, it's looking pretty good in here. Yeah, I have done tests. I have seen this cockpit before in the HTC VIVE, but I'll try to reiterate what I noticed when I first loaded it, is that right off the bat, in the pits, in the cockpit, I can tell you that this is unbelievably close to the Oculus Rift version. In fact, could I tell you about any differences? I don't think so. This looks just as freaking good. I think iRacing is either using MSAA or it's using super sampling, either one, but it is looking freaking beautiful and smooth in here, just as smooth as it did with Oculus. The feeling of scale is not messed up by bad anti-aliasing. The lighting right now, if I put my hands on the steering wheel, just in the same place as this dude, I feel like that light is supposed to hit my body and warm it up. It is that good right now. This is really, really impressive right from the pits. And check it out. You got a nice 89 frames per second right there on the counter. And I took my good old Dallara IndyCar 2012 model, which I like very much, and I will be going out onto the Circuit of the Americas, which is a track that I've only seen on television. I've never driven on it in any simulator ever, especially not in real life. So what's the point of this exercise? Well, the point of this exercise is to test the distant detail in the VR image. See, I can talk about it while I'm sitting in the pits right now as much as I want. The most important thing is to be able to see far. Now, one thing I know about this track is that it has a few ups and downs, so sometimes you're going up a hill and you can't see. So obviously in my out lap, I will be careful about that so that I don't freaking spin out during my out lap, but I'll try to up the ante, especially when I am able to see far. So that's the whole point right now. In order to learn a track that I do not know, be able to drive as fast as possible, as quickly as possible on it, I need to be able to see where I'm going as far as possible. So this is a really good test, actually. Let's go right into it. Oh, fuck, nice. This is such a weird track, holy fuck. was not a visibility mistake, that was a driving mistake. I can see what's coming clearly. This is amazing, by the way, if you want to know. I kind of like the track, too. This is the part where you obviously see the best, as you see really fucking far. It's uphill. I'm comparing this to the Oculus Rift directly, obviously, because that's what I wanted to do the whole time. And this is identical. I have found, finally, the racing simulator that runs identically. This is the exact same thing as Oculus Rift. Fun track, fun track. Man, this fucking afternoon lighting is killer. While I was on the circuit of the Americas, I almost forgot to take some fucking corners because of it. It's distracting me. I'm coming for a turn and I'm like, ooh, wow, reflections. Or I want to fucking say something on the video and I forget halfway through my sentence what I wanted to say because I'm getting distracted by beautiful lighting. So yeah, that's something I hadn't seen during my tests. I'd done a few tests before I recorded this video, but I had not seen the afternoon lighting. I had not seen the Circuit of the Americas. And here's another thing I haven't seen, the inside of the NASCAR Ford Fusion Sprint Cup car. It's freaking beautiful. I think it's been updated. I don't remember this dashboard from when I tested with the Oculus version. What was it? Oh, that looks really fucking good. I don't know if this is a recent update or my memory cheating me. I do not remember seeing that. So, we are in the NASCAR here. And what am I doing? Well, I'm doing something for tradition's sake. Since I first tried virtual reality with the Oculus Rift DK1, I have been using iRacing as my go-to simulator. I moved into the DK2 with it, I moved into the CV1 with it, and now it's the HTC VIVE's turn. And every headset so far has had a shot with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Ford Fusion at Watkins Glen International on the short configuration. And I didn't want to do it any different for the HTC VIVE. I wanted to do this for tradition's sake. And I wanted to try a little something different. I wanted to try the earbuds for this section of the video to see if it'd make any difference, because I find setting up in a driver's seat with a long headphone cable to be incredibly cumbersome. This is where Oculus Rift still has an advantage, especially for driving simulation. Because the last thing you want is one more wire on a seat where you have your steering wheel, you have two wires coming out of your steering wheel, the power and the USB, then you have your headset's cable, and maybe you have your positional tracker's cable. The last thing you want is to have to add yet another fucking wire. So I am trying out with the earbuds right now to see if that will make any difference. What I'm hoping is that my head motion will not be sufficient to snag one of these out. Watkins Glen with this car that sounds like you're constantly being chased by a pack of wild lions or tigers. Something mean. Gotta be really smooth in this car. You can't just push like crazy. This is not an Indy car. This is not an Indy car, bud. There we go, nice and easy. Turn 9. This long right-hander. A little bit of apron. She wants to slide all over the place. Turn 10. Link to turn 11. Second gear turn. Turn 11 and reach the finish line. Hardest one is turn 1. You're coming downhill, so you got some forward momentum and you have to suddenly turn right. If you get through it, you're not too bad. For here you have to be careful. Go up to third gear, but very, very smooth on that car. Easy, easy. She wants to go. She wants to go, and she always wants to go too much. A little risky. I tried going up a gear there. man. Like, I have no particular complaint compared to the Oculus. This is exactly as good. No better, no worse, like I said before. They're both equally incredible experiences. Just gotta slide through that right-hand 90. It's fucking crazy. There's not much else you can do with it. Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, this is as good as I'd want it. This is just as good as all the other driving sims I've been doing on the Oculus that I liked. Very similar to Assetto Corsa. Maybe slightly more crystal clear visuals in here. The place to crash on this track. It is the fastest portion of the track. You really don't want to crash there. I think I'm gonna have to replace my car right now. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's see what happened. So I'm gonna be going up there. Is it gonna switch cam? Oh! Oh, I almost saved it. Oh, fuck me. Come on. When it comes to like being in the cockpit, not moving your head too much, I have no problem with that. This is why I decided to try switching the headphones, see it would be a problem. And during all these laps that I just did, these headphones were absolutely not as much of a problem as they are when I'm, say, doing room scale VR, where I like the headset, the audio headset over the Vive, because then I move a lot and earbuds will tend to pop out like that while I'm playing, which I really find annoying. So, in this case, that probably would not happen. Aside from that, so the Oculus I could say has a slight edge on that. I'll give Oculus a slight edge on that because of the fact that you don't have to put on any separate headphones if you don't want to. They're latched onto the damn headset. Now, when it comes to the visuals, like I said many times, we're talking an unbelievable degree of parity here. I am having a hard time telling you it looks different. I may be getting a little bit more horizontal FOV in the Vive, but it's hard to tell you right now. I literally need to have both running in both headsets at the same time to fully tell you what the exact differences are, because to my memory these look identical, both of them. They look just as good. I'm still driving a car here, and I'm still sweating in the face foam. And I'll tell you where the HTC VIVE has a slight disadvantage to the Oculus Rift right now. The HTC VIVE has a much thicker face foam. So what happens when you sweat in it, you think? It thins. It thins by a much larger factor than the Oculus Rift's face foam. So you'll tend to feel, guess what? Yeah, that's right. You'll tend to feel your headset getting looser and looser over time because you're sweating into the face foam and it's thinning. Now, that being said, you have the narrow face foam that comes as a spare, and I know they're out of stock right now, but you can also buy extra face foams for your HTC VIVE. They're easy to swap, so that might not be as big as a problem, but it is a fact to keep in mind. I mean, it's a difference that I've noticed. It's one of the few fucking differences that I can fucking dig and bring up to you right now because I'm really having problems finding differences. But yeah, the face foam is a lot thicker on the HTC VIVE and thus is far more affected by you sweating into it as you're driving your car. And I gotta tell you, if you're the kind who doesn't break the sweat in these simulators, you're not doing it like I do it. You're doing it wrong. You're not driving fast enough. You're not driving hard enough. Drive harder. So that's it, folks. When it comes to the solo video, that's pretty much all I had to say. It's that I think I found the ultimate parody. I am really, really happy. I'll be able to use each headset to do simulations now. And I think I owe iRacing a little bit of stick time with the HTC VIVE now, because they went ahead and put in the most pristine VR support I have seen for the HTC VIVE in a driving simulation so far. This is the best one available. Oh, there she goes. What did I say? Man. All these headsets have been arriving, and iRacing have been complying and putting support for them in a rather timely fashion. So, huge props to iRacing for once again nailing it with a 4th headset in a row. To me, that's just absolutely delightful. And second off, words to everyone who has a VIVE, I think I've found the ultimate parody for driving simulations. This is it. It's absolutely amazing. When I imagine how iRacing should look like in virtual reality, knowing the technology and the limitations of today, the way I imagine it is the way it looks like right now in the Oculus Rift and the HTC VIVE. So take that for what it is. I really mean every word of it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, people. I've been watching Stereo 3D Productions and once more iRacing, but this time in the HTC VIVE. I'll see you next time.